A southern Kentucky father helped police arrest a man who was trying to lure his 12-year-old daughter out of their home. And wait until you hear the trick police say the man used to contact the girl.
A handwritten letter and some military patches left behind anonymously here at the Tin Roof in Lexington yesterday, giving a new perspective to many on what exactly September 11th means to some.
It didn't appear to me that we had a lot of belief in winning that game.
The Cats trying to regroup after a big loss at Florida. How Coach Stoops hopes to get the team back on track.
This is WKYT News at 5.
A father's decision to monitor his daughter's social media accounts led to police charging a man with attempted rape.
Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 22-year-old Joshua Wagers last night. Investigators say he was trying to pick up a 12-year-old at her home just before midnight, and deputies say they discovered some disturbing items in his car. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is tracking the investigation in our top story at 5.
This all went down just before midnight on Sunday when police say they showed up to find that a 22-year-old man had tried to pretend that he was a police officer to get a 12-year-old girl to come and get in his car, basically drive her around. But police say he had other intentions as well.
He's charged with attempted rape in the second degree. We don't know whether any sexual activity had taken place.
But police say this was actually the second time Wagers had tried to lure the 12-year-old from her home. During the other occasion, he implied he was a police officer. Most of their communication was done on Snapchat, and police say that's how the father discovered what Wagers was up to.
Apparently, he had intercepted social media information from his daughter's phone that this individual was en route to the residence.
Police say Wagers had tried to pick up the girl at nearly midnight. The father hid and confronted Wagers until police showed up. That's when Wagers was arrested on multiple offenses. Joshua Wagers remains in the Laurel County Detention Center. Police say in addition to the police equipment, they also discovered condoms, a number of different alcoholic beverages, and illegal drugs in the car with them. They say had the 12-year-old girl got into the car with him, they can only imagine what may have taken place. Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Wagers faces several charges, including impersonating an officer, attempted rape, and drug possession. Coming up at 6, you'll hear the 911 call that led police to make the arrest. 2 people charged in a Lexington murder pled not guilty this afternoon in court. Destiny Huff and Daniel Glasscock are charged with murder and robbery in the death of Victor Villagomez Duarte. He died last week after being shot outside of the Microtel on Winchester Road. Police tell us they believe he was set up during a drug deal. Huff and Glasscock will be back in court for a preliminary hearing on Thursday.
A clear night will lead to another cool start in the morning, but summer's not done just yet. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking a warm-up for the rest of the week. Chris?
Yeah, starting to feel a little warmer out there today. We just don't have the humidity that is going to creep into the picture in the coming days. Most areas this afternoon, 80 to 85 degrees. But again, beautiful blue skies out there, and overall it feels good. You have no humidity to really bring you down. We will change that up, though, as I mentioned, in the coming days. So enjoy the evening that is upon us. Nothing that would be coming from the skies to impact that Monday evening across the entire area. What you see is what you get. I even throw the clouds on there, and you can't find a cloud in much of the region. 77 around 7. By the time we roll into 9 and 11, it's a quick drop into the mid-60s by 11 o'clock. Some of those valleys into eastern Kentucky may already drop into the upper 50s by then as that cool air continues to settle on in for tonight. Tomorrow, though, the warm stuff that is off to our west and southwest is going to blow into the bluegrass state. May also bring a little spotty shower thunderstorm into the southern parts of the region. But when I come back here in a little over 5 minutes from now, we'll put an hour-by-hour forecast together and show you why thunderstorm chances will increase this coming weekend.
Hillary Clinton taking the day off from the campaign trail after she nearly collapsed during a ceremony for the 15th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
But it was something she said before the Sunday event that has Donald Trump upset. CBS's Jamie Yukas has the campaign 2016 update.
Hillary Clinton is recovering after nearly passing out at a 9/11 event in New York Sunday. Clinton's campaign initially did not reveal she was diagnosed with pneumonia on Friday, but they now say they will be more forthcoming about her health.
In the next couple days, we're going to be releasing additional medical information about Hillary Clinton. We've been in touch with her physician this morning to get those materials together. We're going to be releasing that to further put to rest any lingering concerns about what you saw yesterday.
Donald Trump says he had a physical last week and promises to release the results soon.
Trump wished Clinton well and then went on the attack about a comment she made about his supporters this past week.
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Clinton made those remarks during an LGBT fundraiser.
She and her wealthy donors all had a good laugh. You heard them. They were all laughing.
Trump slammed Clinton as an out-of-touch elitist who can't relate to the common man.
Hillary Clinton is an insider supported by powerful insiders attacking Americans who have absolutely no political power.
Trump has made his own controversial comments in the past.
Donald Trump has got to go.
And a handful of protesters were outside his new Pennsylvania Avenue hotel in Washington, D.C. Monday morning to remind potential guests. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump campaign released a new ad today highlighting Clinton's comment. She says she regrets criticizing Trump supporters, but maintains his campaign has given a platform to hateful views and voices.
Police say a smooth-talking thief ended up stealing nearly $1,000 from a central Kentucky bank. We begin our county-by-county coverage at 5 in Clark County. Police say a man used a quick change scheme at the People's Exchange Bank. Investigators say the man first asked to change a large amount of cash for smaller bills. He then asked to change the bills to euros. When the teller told him they couldn't make that exchange, police say he handed back the cash, but not before pocketing some of it. The theft wasn't discovered for hours.
Once they're doing their countdown at the end of the day, found that they were short and went and reviewed their video and saw this individual who they'd had an interaction with, and it appears that he had taken some of the money.
Now, police are also looking for a woman who posed as a customer during the theft. Police believe she was there to try and distract other workers at the bank. Winchester police say a similar theft also recently happened in Lexington. A 3-year-old murder case finally went to trial today in Anderson County. Gary Luttrell is charged in the September 2013 shooting death of Stephen Briscoe. Luttrell went on the run and was later arrested in Ohio. A jury was seated earlier today. The trial is expected to last the rest of the week.
A small-town police department is getting a new crime-fighting tool. All Cynthiana police officers will soon have body cameras. As WKYT's Andrea Walker reports, the chief hopes the devices will help keep the public and his officers safe.
Law enforcement, like anything else, is an ever-changing field. The latest change for the Cynthiana Police Department will be equipping each of their officers with body cameras.
Video is worth 1,000 words. I mean, you can play a video, it'll be audio visual, so you'll hear everything that's being said, and that'll clarify any situation that anybody may have dealt with.
These 20 cameras will end up costing the city $51,000 over a 5-year period, but the chief tells us he believes it will be money well spent.
Basically, we're not paying for the cameras, we're paying for the storage. We won't actually store it in-house, it'll be stored elsewhere. But the biggest thing for that is you don't have to worry about if an officer is out on a call and the camera's on, he can go back and review afterwards the video, but he can't alter it.
The money for the new body cameras was approved by the city last week, and the order has already been placed. Ultimately, they're hoping this will be a mutually beneficial technology for police and the public.
It's a win-win. It's a win for us because, like I said, it'll help us do our jobs better, and at the same time, it'll make the public aware that you're being videoed. So if you're going to come in and want to complain about something, it's going to be there.
In Harrison County, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
The chief says they hope to have the force trained and the body cameras up and running by mid-October.
A very rough start for the season for the football Wildcats. Coach Stoops told reporters today it appeared his team was beat even before the first play at Florida. Brian Milam joins us with our Big Blue coverage at 5. That's concerning, Brian.
Yeah, and as you might expect, the tone of Mark Stoops' press conference today was one of concern, reflection, but still trying to be somewhat optimistic. Against Florida, it was a total systems failure. Nothing went right from the start. As the game went on Saturday, even early on, it looked like the Cats did not believe they could win the game.
I certainly don't think there's any doubt that, we didn't have a lot of faith last week, because once you get hit on the first play of the game, and it didn't appear to me that we had a lot of belief in winning that game, and that is disappointing. And we've got to change it. And until it changes on the field, then you and I could talk about it, write about it. We could do until it changes. That's when it'll change out there.
Yeah, it was certainly tough to watch constantly today. Mark Stoops talked about passion, increasing football IQ, and being more fundamental. We will have more from today's press conference around 5:50. Back to you.
And UK takes on New Mexico State this Saturday at Commonwealth Stadium. Kickoff is set for 4 o'clock. The game will also air on the SEC network.
And I just immediately got chills over my entire body.
You will hear the note a customer left behind that left a Lexington bartender in awe. A story you have to see in just 10 minutes here on WKYT.
And believe it or not, the holiday shopping season is just around the corner. A local retailer will be adding dozens of jobs. How you can apply in about 16 minutes.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
A lot of sunshine across the Bluegrass State today, coming off a very nice Sunday, and that just rolls on into today, though we're throwing a few more degrees on top of the thermometer, and that's a trend that'll carry us into the coming days. Summer not going down without a fight. Live look outside, 9 different sky cams across central and eastern Kentucky, and each one of them looking good throughout the entire region, from I-65 through the 75 corridor into eastern Kentucky. Everybody with some sunshine. Most thermometers 80 to 85 degrees out there this afternoon. Not a whole lot of humidity, so it still feels pretty nice. Just stay in the shade. Remember, it's still technically summer. Sun is high in that early September sky. Defender radar network, goodbye. Nothing going on locally, though. Southern parts of the Appalachian Mountains into sections of the Carolinas, the Deep South. Moisture is gathering again. If you know anything about high pressure, winds go clockwise around high pressure. So we're going to see that wind becoming southerly and then southwesterly over the next few days. So that's going to warm us up, throw a little more humidity into the mix, and by the time we get into Wednesday, cold front that is on top of the Plain States will be on top of the Bluegrass State. That'll give us at least a chance for a scattered thunderstorm. Tomorrow, 50s to mid and maybe a few upper 80s. Similar to what we have today, though southern Kentucky, you can technically squeeze out a little isolated shower or thunderstorm. Here we go with the 3-day forecast. Wednesday has the best chance of seeing a shower or thunderstorm around of the next 3 days. It's mainly dry on Thursday as we toast it back up, mid and upper 80s again. New hour-by-hour forecast is out there. Let's look at it together. Low 60s by 11 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, the cool 50s. 52 into Maysville and Frankfort. Tomorrow at noon, upper 70s, low 80s. Though look at southeastern Kentucky. A little bit of cloud cover and at least an isolated shower or thunderstorm that will try to come calling into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Through tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, not as cool as where we've been over the past couple of mornings. Still pleasant, though, to begin the day. And by the afternoon on Wednesday, good shot for at least scattered showers and some thunderstorms that would try to carry us into early Wednesday evening. And then we see a bigger push of rain coming down the road. Later Friday, high school football fans, the potential is there for a scattered thunderstorm. Better chances, I think, Friday night into Saturday, and at least the first part of our Sunday. I hate to have any weekend that looks wet, but this weekend, as of now, is looking wet. But it's only Monday.
Yeah.
All right, let's be positive.
We will.
We'll work on it in the coming days.
All right, you do that. Thank you.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. There's a collision at Broadway and Fairlawn Avenue. That's a non-injury crash outbound. Police are also still working a crash at Green Tree and Armstrong Mill. And as far as drive times go right now to Nicholasville, less than 15 minutes. Georgetown 17, Paris about 20. Now back to the studio.
Honoring the victims and first responders.
In 6 minutes, we'll take you to a ceremony in Winchester to mark the 15th anniversary of the September 11th attacks.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
She thought he was just another customer on a busy Sunday afternoon, but soon a worker at a Lexington restaurant was in tears reading a letter the man left behind.
Our Hillary Thornton talked to the worker today who was overcome by an anonymous tribute to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
It was business as usual inside of the Tin Roof restaurant and bar.
Yesterday we had the NFL Sunday, so there's a ton of men in here.
A typical Sunday during football season filled with fans. However, as a nation, this Sunday was something much different. It was a Sunday marking the 15th anniversary of the September 11th attacks.
It impacted me differently now than it did in 5th grade.
The different impact felt now due to one man who said at this bar ordering 2 shots of bourbon.
Took one and then left.
Audrey Drake thinking that man would return for the second round. However, after a while deciding it was time to clear his spot.
I saw that there was a piece of paper sitting next to the other shot of Woodford.
Picking up that letter, 2 military patches falling out.
And I just immediately got chills over my entire body.
The letter reading in part, quote, "I take this shot as a salute to the ones that I have served beside in uniform. I leave the other for all my brothers and sisters who gave the ultimate sacrifice." The letter then going on to say, quote, "I leave my global war on terrorism ribbon as a reminder of what took place 15 years ago today. I leave my ship's rocker as a tribute to this great nation," end quote. The rocker of the USS New York, a Navy warship made out of 7.5 tons of steel from the mangled World Trade Center.
Because I was in 5th grade whenever it happened, 25 now. It was very moving and kind of came full circle.
The letter then ending with the charge to remember the motto of the USS New York, "Strength forged through sacrifice," signed with not a name, but simply the words, "Never forget, LPD 21, Hooyah Navy." In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Very impressive. Managers say they plan on framing the letter and the patches, displaying it as a reminder of the sacrifice that so many men, women, and their families have made. Another memorial was held today to remember all those lives lost 15 years ago in the September 11th attacks. St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Winchester has held a memorial mass every year since those attacks. The church also honored first responders in Clark County.
Our purpose is to thank the first responders in Winchester and Clark County that take care of us, and we like to say thank you to them and also remember the lives that were lost on September 11th in 2001.
About 200 people attended the service today. First responders were treated to lunch after it was over. We've all probably done it, but for a Madison County man, a pocket dial ended up with him in jail. Ahead on News at 5:30, see how police tracked down a man who accidentally called 911.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. About 3 million children and teens play soccer in the U.S. Now, new research shows as the sport becomes more popular, more children are getting injured on the field. Tracy Townsend has more.
What's your strategy when you're in the goal?
I try to play aggressive.
As a soccer goalie, 15-year-old Josh Swydorf has taken big hits protecting the net.
He apparently kneed me in the head, and I don't think I ever passed out, but I don't really remember much.
He suffered a concussion last year. A new study from Nationwide Children's Hospital shows the number of soccer injuries is rising. Researchers looked at 25 years of data and found about 330 children are treated in the ER each day for sprains, strains, and fractures. The number of concussions also skyrocketed.
We're seeing 24 concussions a day treated in hospital emergency departments.
Researchers say reasons behind the injury increase include more awareness, new athletes learning the sport, and kids playing year-round at high intensity. But there are ways to prevent getting hurt.
Make sure they're participating in preseason conditioning programs that have exercises to build their core strength, their neck muscles, and their thigh and hip muscles. And make sure they're learning about concussions so that they know the signs and symptoms.
Josh sat out for a few weeks, but says it probably should have been for longer.
I just wanted to come back to the game. I kind of faked my last test a little. For people that are having concussions right now and in the future, don't do that.
And he is back on the sidelines again after dislocating his shoulder. Tracy Townsend for CBS News, Columbus, Ohio.
Earlier this year, the U.S. Soccer Organization banned children 10 and under from hitting the ball with their heads. Target says it will hire more than 70,000 seasonal workers during the busy holiday shopping season. That's about the same as it hired last year. The store also plans to hire an additional 7,500 people for its distribution facilities. Target will hold hiring events at all of its 1,800 stores on October 14th and 15th. Candidates can also apply online. An all-new electric car will soon hit the market in the U.S. It's called the Solo, and hence its name only has one seat. The Solo is made by the Canadian company Electromechanica. It has 3 wheels and a top speed of 81 miles an hour. The Solo costs about $15,000. It will be available in the U.S. next year. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.